Very good evening, everyone. Let's wait for a couple of minutes so others can join. 359. So let's wait for them. Can't able to share my screen, so give me a moment, everyone. Good evening. Yes, all right. So hello once again, everyone. I'm glad to spend this hour with you exploring something pretty exciting with Python, which can help with amazing and useful things. So forget complicated code for a moment. So my goal today is to show you the project overview. So we'll discover how our project will become our personal assistant for boring tasks, a smart shopper online, or even help you create our mini apps. So throughout our time together, please ask questions. If something doesn't make sense, just raise your hand. So this is gonna be a conversation, not just a lecture. So let's make it interactive. All right. Before I begin with, so let's start with the big question again, since we have covered our introduction session. So, can anyone tell me what is Python? What have you learned? Like, what is your perspective on Python? Like, what is Python to you? Like, according to you, someone can share someone can share what their thoughts on this? High level language, versatile, high level programming. Uh,
Sir, good evening.
Very good in Bharat. Bharat, sorry
And
for pronouncing. Yes,
sir,
please.
Python is a high-level and general-purpose programming language known for its readability and simplicity. It was created by Goldu van Rossum. in 1991. It supports multiple frameworks and supports object-oriented programming and functions.
Nice one, Bharat. That's good. Anyone else? Aryan, Shreya, high level interpreted language. All right. Happening. Okay. All right. Let me fix my screen share. It's not working now. No, it's not working. Okay. I guess you guys have the project PDF that had been shared. Can anyone confirm if you guys have that one? Got it, I
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
guess.
sir.
All right. So think of Python as a special language that used to give instruction to the computer. So it's like teaching you a pet trick, but instead of sit and stay, you're telling your computer to organize my files or tell me when a price drops. So something like that will have a project. So our first project is something called file organizer. So let's just say we have a messy computer folders, right? Like some we have a download folder that looks like a digital junk drawer. We have a lot of drawers with the files with different kind of files like a PDF folders full of pictures, documents, videos, and who knows what, right? And my download folder is very disaster, and in sorting all those files by hand one by one is very tedious. So that's where our first project comes that is called Python File Organizer. Let's look into a problem. The problem is quite simple. We want a Python script that automatically organizes files in a folder based on what type of the file they are. So you want to imagine you're telling a very smart or a very literal robot how to do this. So what steps would it need to take? Can anyone tell me before we can anyone have any idea what we are trying to deal with here? So we are telling a little, let's just imagine robot are telling him to do this. So what will you tell him orally? Can anyone?
So in this project, we will develop or define all the files and define a function to organize the file.
All right. So here comes a point. For example, let's just say one by one. First, we go into the download folder, iterate one file one by one, then figure it out if it's a photo, a document, or video, etc. Like at the end of the file name, there will be JPG, PDF, PNG, XLX, CSV, etc. All right. So based on that, create a folder. If it's a PDF, create a PDF folder. If you want to segregate in this way all the pictures, whether if it's a JPG, PNG, in that picture folder, you can even do that. So and the last thing, put the file in the right new folder. That's it. We just design our file organizer. But the thing is, how we gonna build it? So let's see week by week. So in a structured learning goal, we build this project step by step. Typically over about 4 weeks, if you can see. So this helps break a big task into manageable pieces. So let's look at the plan. In week one, so this is all about very basic of Python. What you guys going to learn is how to write a simple instruction, how Python sees and files and folders on our PC. So you'll learn how about specific Python toolkit that allow us to look at a folder contents and move files around here and there. Then we decide on our clean folders name. Like it's optional to you whether if you want to use the extension name base or the file type name base, like a document, image, videos, others. So think of it learning your like ABCs or the like drawing the blueprint for your organizer. All right. So if you had a file name, for example, my report dot docs. So what type of folder would you want to go into that? Can you tell me? Let me iterate. If you had a file name, report dot documents. Exactly. So Kishore, I have a question. So how would you determine that will go into a document folder? Based on what? Like how would a computer know it is a document with the file? Exactly, Selvam. Perfect. Yes, it will be in docx, the latest version. Perfect. TXT, yeah, you can even take that. So we have documents, so PDF also documents, and goes on. That's the weak one. We'll deal with that. So we'll do the file handling things. We'll learn OS and shuttle module. We also know how to design for and categorize based on the extension. I'm going, okay. All right. Perfect, Pawan. Uh, Now week two. So this is the core of our organizing Python script. You write the Python code that scans through every single file in a Plexi folder. It then looks at the file setting like the extension, JPG or PDF to figure out its type. If it finds a picture, then there is no image folder, and then it will create one. Then it will automatically move the picture into a image folder. In that week, your Python script learns to see the file types and actually do the sorting and moving part. And at the end of that week, we check if the script is correctly identifying the file types or folders being created or files moving to the right places. So this is a crucial checkpoint to make sure our core logic works. Since checking what file type it is and sorting and moving to that particular folders is a core logic of our file organizer. So any doubt until week two, anyone? All right, I hope not. If you have any question, please stop me at any time. So after the week two, we'll have our mid-project review where I'll be checking what if I did correctly identifying the file types or the folders or the file organized successfully or not. In week three, so what if the script tries to move a file that's already open or already exists with the same name? For example, I want someone to brainstorm this. You have downloaded a report video yesterday and you have ran that automation script yesterday. And today you have downloaded a couple of files and you found a report video, same thing has been downloaded again. So how will the script should handle this? Can anyone tell me that? The voice is breaking. Let me fix that. I hope it's better now. So let me iterate again. What will happen if there is a report.pdf? There are two files. We have one, you have ran once. If you ran it again, how will the duplication of file your code will, like a Python script, should deal with? So how will you tackle this solution? Can anyone tell me?
It should override the last one.
Uh, who's that? Krisha Jasani. Oh, sorry for the name wrong. So if you mean you have to overwrite in the last one, what if it has two different contexts inside? How will you deal that? Like report can be any term, like a blood report or score report. It can be anything. So how will you override that one?
Sir, with the help of file description, writing in the right mode.
Or then I literally didn't heard you. Can you repeat that once again?
Sir, I am saying that we can do the open the file in the right mode.
Aryan, this is not the question. What I'm asking is there are you have yesterday you have ran that automation, it's a script file organizer, and in that you had a report or PDF file, and it literally segregated in the document folder. It's moved. If you run it again, you have the same file, report or PDF. How will the code will deal? So yeah, one coder can't have the same file, right? So Krisha said to overwrite it, but the context inside that PDF are different. How to overwrite that one? What will be the solution for this? Bharat, exactly rename the file. How will you rename the file? Like how will the phone know how to rename it? So can you give me one example? Because you have seen that all the time when you download two files. Exactly, exactly, Pravalika. That's how we're going to deal that. So we add safety nets, something to our code. So this is a special Python instruction that prevent the script from crashing. So if something unexpected happens, instead it can calmly say, oh, like, oops, couldn't move the file, it is already open. Since there are like there are file exits, so renaming that to something. So we also add logging feature. So this means our script will write down everything it does, what it has a rename, why it has a rename, which files move, any problem it found, into a simple text file, a simple log file. So this week is all about making our script robust, reliable, and able to report on its work. At the last week 4, we'll finally test our script thoroughly on different examples different folders. And crucially, we'll create a simple user guide to how to use them, explaining how anyone can use your code. So this makes your project really complete and shareable to the one non-coders. So the actual Python program file, a simple description of what it does, and a helpful user guide is what you're going to deliver at the end of your project. So from a messy download folder to perfectly organized digital workspace, all with the Python script in one click, done. Like a thing which will take hours, which is done in less than a minute. Simple. That's the project one, file organizer by Python. Does anyone have any doubt in project one?
Sir, so basically we are supposed to divide the task according to the team members and everybody has to do one task. Is it like that?
This is totally on you. If you want to do it by team, you can do it by team. If you want to do it alone, you can even do it. Take whole thing as alone. It's totally on you. So what would I would suggest personally is to do it alone.
And sir, during the time of submission, are we supposed to present the screen and show you the outputs or is it going to work like that?
Yeah, you have to present, you have to show me. There will be Viva. I will ask you each and everything like what you have done.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. So any doubt, people? All right. Moving to the project two.
Sir, one doubt.
As
So
per
if
our data.
if we do it alone, how will we show the contribution, sir? So I mean, it's
See, what people do is there will be team combined. It is totally only if you want to do it by a team or if you want to do it alone. The contribution will be depend on how you project it and how will you answer the questions. Simple. Even if you do it by team, if you have done one kind of contribution, I will ask you in that contribution what you have done, how you would have done, what would you have done extra. Simple as that.
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
All right.
Sir,
Yes, Krisha.
we are supposed to finalize one team leader from our team, right?
It's totally on you.
So it is okay if we choose a leader or not, right?
Again, it's totally on you.
Okay, okay.
Yes. All right. So let's switch the gears from organizing our computer folders to exploring the vast world of internet. So, like, who here has like we had an eye on a phone, smartphone with gadgets, or a pair of shoe, clothes, or like, and like, we wish to know the exact moment when it was price drop. For example, might have happened for a couple of times. Yesterday, the price of your favorite shoe was like just 1,000, but today it's just 2,000. So we just wish if you knew that yesterday had a price drop. Right. So it's very annoying to keep checking it once again and again. So to mitigate that, the second project, something called web scraping, Python product price tracker. So what is the problem here? So we want a Python script that checks the product price on website and tells us when the price drops below a certain amount, like a threshold you have kept. So for example, you tell a script, go to a specific product page, for example, go to Amazon, go to this particular product, find the price of the item, ignore everything else, and I've given if the price is below 1,000 or 1,000, send me a message or email. If there's nothing, do nothing, check every hour, check every 4 hours, like just scheduling it. Check if it's pricing down, send me an email as immediately as possible. That's a blueprint of how the price trap. This project too would be structured about 4 weeks. So building on fundamental concepts step by step. So the week one, you'll learn the basic of web scraping. This is how Python reads what's on a web page. So we use two main Python toolkits. One to ask website for its information like our browser does, as another to help us search throughout the information to find exactly what we need, like the product name and its price. So can anyone tell me what are the two things? Okay, yeah, you can see the fundamental thing here, like recurse and beautiful. So yeah, so we'll use that. We'll learn that one. So like, I have a question. When you go to a shopping website, where do you usually look for the price? Is it always in the same spot? Can you tell me that? Is it this price thing is always in the same spot? Like in a coding
Yes.
bag, yes. Okay. And now, how would you take that part? Like, so what you like, as a coder, what you call that thing? That starts with E. Can anyone guess? Tag, okay. That's in HTML formats. So something else we call as a Python thing, we call that as element. Select elements of a web page. So we'll tag that element, use that in our script and tell the Python this is the element for the price tracker, check it. So that's what we're gonna do in week one. We learn the basic of web scraping. In week two, once we have read the website, so this week is all about actually building the part of the script, which extracts the product name, price, and the email. So we also share this info to track this day the price was this, tomorrow the price was that in a spreadsheet on XMS. So this way the Python script learns to pick out the important details and write them down. So you can have a track for the trending that what was the price. So at this point we verify the scrapper is fetching the price or not. It is saving it properly in our data file. So this ensures our data is correction. So it ensures we that the web scraping is done on the price of that particular product, not else. In week three, so this is the exciting and the most crucial part. Secure logic happens. You'd add the ability for a script to send an email alert. So when the price drops below a specific amount of time, which goes, Python has toolkits that lets you send email just like you would from your email program. Can anyone tell me okay, which is there SMTP or Gmail API? We can use that to send emails. Then we crucially also learn how to make the scape run automatically. Like every few hours, we'll use the schedule. Does anyone know the scheduler function in Python? So we can even use our own Python built-in schedule function, right? Or notice we learn that in upcoming weeks. So we'll set our goal to schedule, like we'll set our script to schedule it in every 4 hours, every 2 hours, something like that. Now your script becomes more proactive that week, setting alert and working on its own schedule. And the last week, that is week four, we'll make it super reliable and documented. Let's just say, what if the website changes its design or your internet connection drops? In that week, you would add more safety nets to handle errors gracefully. So a script doesn't crash. You also write clear instruction and documentation for a price tracker. So anyone, including yourself later, can understand and use it, can make changes. In the deliverables, you will give the price tracker script, a file for you, an email, the threshold limit you have set, and clear instruction on how to use it. So no more endless refreshing for your product pages. You will let the Python be your personal price tracker. So keeping on eyes on a particular product is pretty neat, right? So this is the web scraping product price tracker. Basically, just track the price and gives an alert if it comes down comes down below the threshold limit you have kept or something like some kind of rule you have set. As simple as that. Does anyone have any doubt, any clarification that needs to be clear for project two? What I would suggest for you guys is to select project two more because it might use you in the future. Any doubt here? Guys, if you guys have any doubt, you can even let know. That would be very helpful for me. Okay, and I forgot to add, we'll be having mid project review. So don't forget. Srikant, no sir, no any. Uh, what's that doubt? right? Okay. So I'm looking forward for you guys to make it more interactive. So let me add one thing. You guys are very free to ask any kind of feature you want. The UI, you can design anything. What I need is the fulfillment should be full. That's it. And the project tree. Before you move that, how many of you guys know Flask? Yes, Sushant, you can add. You're free to add anything. All right, Flask. Perfect. So this project will be useful for the guys who are good in Flask. Again, for those who know Flask, I suggest you guys not to do this. Do something else which you want to learn, like it looks complicated to you, which looks challenging. All right, project three, your own mini web application. For our final project, we are taking a big leap, building our own web application. So we're not talking about building a big thing here. We'll be using Flask, unlike the Django, but a simple interactive tool that runs right in your Chrome browser or any browsers. So this for those who uses to-do list to track of tasks, whether it's on a paper, phone, or an app. So for them, this app might be useful to do app. So this project helps you build your own basic version of a to-do list app thanks to a Python tool, Flask. We'll be using Flask there. The problem is the problem statement. We want to build a simple to-do app that lets you add tasks, see your tasks, mark them as done, and delete them all through a web browser. Even you can. Okay, sorry, difference. Do we need to create it for a single website which is Devraj, I can say I'm confused. So once you've created one script, you can easily change, like make the script more flexible to change the website, change the product name, and track the price. You can use whatever, like depends on you how flexible you have kept your script. If I was you, what I would have done is uh, made an application build using Tinker, if anyone know, and I would add the website URL or a website name. Better, I'll add a website URL, and I'll make the code in a way that it will take first the URL, go to the URL, search for the product name, I'll add the like element in my script. So for Flipkart, this element, for Amazon, this element, or I will even try to make it smart, like automatically fetching that price thing. So something like that. So all totally depends on you. I hope we have cleared Devraj. All right. So what is Flask? Like what is to-do list? Like what are the most important things here to-do app needs to do for you? Just like we are adding a task, set them listed, marked, and delete simple. But the thing is, web application, we'll be creating web application, we'll be focusing on the designs, we'll be focusing on the accessibility, we'll be focusing on the saving of a task. If you have closed it, if you open that, it should have the same data. Or even you can add a feature for email to remind you like a deadline or something like that. So there are like essential features you will build. The building web app sounds complicated. Python Flask tool makes it surprisingly straightforward. If you know Flask, we learned that, no issues. So here are the 4 weeks. The first will be building our first web page with Python. So this week is all about getting started with Flask. You learn how Python can serve simple web pages. Like you create a basic page with an input box where you can type a task, where you can insert an add button. So this is how your web browser talks to your Python program. This is like building the first blank wall, let's just say a door for your house. Like you're creating the basic interaction, adding the task name, add button. Simple. Like when just say when you type in a search in Google, usually click next, right? But in app, it will be work similar. We'll be adding a button that says add task. In week two, you'll implement the core actions, letting your app add a new task to your list, display all your active tasks, let you delete a task, mark it as complete, delete completed task, or track a completed task in something called completed task, some like list in separate so somewhere else. So initially, this task might disappear if you close the app, but it is a great way to build the basic action. So your app learns to perform the main action to do it that in it like a to-do list app should perform, like adding, checking off, and removing. So at this point, we check does the app allow to adding and deleting tasks. Simple. So this confirm basic functionality is solid. And then we'll have our mid-project review where I'll be checking if a basic functionality of the project is meeting or not. Going to week three, so this is going to be a big one. Now to make your task permanent so that they don't disappear when you close the app, you will connect to a small, simple database called SQLite. Yes, anyone have heard about SQLite here? Does anyone know SQL here? Aryan Bharadwaj. Okay. Database server revision. Can you even tell me full form of SQL? Simple query language.
Sir,
Simple query
structured query
language.
language.
Structured query
Ah,
language.
yes, structured query language. So just a database that allows you to add data into it. That allows you to,
So to create or formulated the relation database management system to handle structured data.
yes, Ankit. Yes.
Store data in row or column format.
Like, how do you think all your data, let's just say for Instagram, all your password logins are being saved in SQL like base, not SQL, but SQL like base, like MongoDB, if you have heard of that. Similarly, we did something called SQLite. We'll be using that small, simple, and small database. We'll connect to that. So think of SQLite as a small digital database that where your app can save all your tasks permanently there, all the completed, everything else. We also learn to make your app look much nicer using something called Bootstrap. If you guys have heard of that. That provide ready-made design elements like stylish button, organized list, so your app looks professional without needing to without you needing to be design expert. Again, project tree is all about design, 70% of design, 30%, like let's just say 30% of functionality, 60% of design, 10% of the creative. In week three, your app becomes smart enough to remember things. Also, it should look much more appealing, much more interactive, much more modern. The last week, you finalize any small feature. Thoroughly test your app to make sure everything works smoothly. Optionally, you could even learn how to put your app online so others can see, use it through a web link, or how you can even share it offline to your friends, colleagues, so on. In deliverables, you'll give me a complete class project, all the files, instruction on how to set it up, and screenshot if you want to add. But two things, class project and the instruction how a non-coder can set it up. So with Flask, we move from just writing script to actually building interactive tools that people can access through the web browser. So it is incredibly empowering to get something you can interact with, right? Does anyone have any doubt in project 3 or any project if they want to have any clarification? So here are the tools you can use. I'll give you a couple of minutes. You guys can put me your doubts here.
Sir, I just wanted to ask that are we able to, like, can we work on multiple projects parallelly at the same time, or let's just keep it simple by keeping one task at a time?
How do you want to do that?
Like, as the projects are divided for like 4 weeks, right? So, is it possible that,
Yes.
yeah, is it possible for us to work on project one and project two at the same time in the same week?
I'm asking you, is it possible for you to work on multiple projects at the same time?
So, I find the task one and two much more for the core way. So, I think it might be feasible.
Okay. Then see, it's totally on you. If you want to do all the three projects, go ahead, learn it. So, but at the time of the Viva, come with what is your like, what do you think more appealing to present it out. So again, it's totally on to you. How do you want to learn? I really appreciate the way you are trying to gain knowledge from that. Again, I think you can do it 2, 3 projects at the same time, but make sure it doesn't confuse you or it doesn't burden yourself.
Okay, sir. And secondly, I wanted to ask, when does this week one start? Like today is Monday, so we can count it as the week has started already.
Like we complete when the first session starts. Depends on that. First class session, like this is just an overview, right? So the first session of the class, you can take that thing as the first week.
Okay, sir.
Or anything else, people? So we have journeyed through 3 distinct projects, yet equally exciting, where Python truly shines, where Python really helps. First in automation, file organizer, making our computer work for you with a file organizer, web scraping, getting smart insight from the internet with the price tracker, with web development, building your own online tool in class. So the big message today isn't about memorizing complex commands, it's about understanding the amazing possibilities that open up when you start learning Python. So it is a language that lets you build practical solutions to your real world problems. So these projects are not just ideas, they're just a stepping stone for learning. Each one helps you understand through different powerful aspects of Python. So what your very next step if this has sparked your interest? Like always start small, don't try to build a complex app on day one. Try to learn it, begin with Python basic. Pick one project which which one sounded most fun to you, most don't take that, which one sound more complicated to you, focus on that. And while like there are tons of free taking Stack or YouTube or like check if what like get to know the basic of the tools we'll be using it before you learn. And the best way to learn is by putting the interest on it. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we all learn. All right. Does anyone have any final question about this project or anything you want to add? Anything at all? All right, now time for a quick pressure or a quick question. Let me ask question. In project one, file organizer, what are the two important important modules you are going to import? Anyone tell me that?
One is shuttle, I think.
Perfect. One more. Come on, guys. I guess you have the overview of project with you. The first we will learn
Second one
is
is OS.
exactly OS module. Okay, these are the two things we'll be using in the first project: OS module and schedule module. First for interacting with the files, schedule for moving and creating or deleting folders and files. All right. In project two, web scraping, what are the two things we'll be using in that? Okay. Beautiful
One
soap.
is beautiful soap.
Okay. The other one? All right. All right. Can anyone tell me what is request you? What is request is for one? What is beautiful soup is for? I know VS full for scripting, all right. And the request module? Perfect. That's very nice. You guys know about it. All right. That's right. And for the last project, last, simple, we just import class. All right. Does anyone want to add, if you want to add a feature to any of these three projects, what would be the feature that you would like to add? Security. Sushant, okay. But when you have say security here, what are you trying to mitigate? Like, what type of why you want to implement security? Uh-huh. You can access and changing code. Hmm, I don't know what perspective are seeing it, but makes sense, kind of way. All right. Logging, surely will be adding logging, voice command support. That would be too much of a hassle, I guess. Okay. It's good. All right. QR code generator, for what you will be doing QR code generator meeting, for what in what feature, in which you will add this feature. Error handling, perfect English. Dedicated hypothetical price. All right. Mm-hmm. So one piece of advice what I would say is keep your code so unique and so much reliable and like check it out what are the features you want to add and just don't add features blindly. Add only what it is needed, like what can make the code more better. All right, that's good. It's really glad to hear that. So much appreciation. All right, if you guys don't have, I guess you have no doubts. So thank you all so much for your active participation and your enthusiasm today. I hope this session has shown you that coding isn't just like a work to do, but a skill to gain, a hobby to follow. I hope you guys have covered what how we're going to be with the project. If you guys have any project doubt, how you will be doing it, you can let me know. So if you guys don't have any doubt, we can wind up and have the rest of the evening great. Thank you for joining, guys. You can leave.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.